Amanda
Who's going to miss it?
Amanda. Shh.
I love our Amanda. I love
All right,
her.
shush.
Oh.
Good evening and welcome to the Obelisk. Tonight's guest is your friend and ours, Suzanne Potter-Thomas. Friend of the show and in-depth researcher, Suzanne brings her unique perspective to almost any subject. And we're going to cover a lot tonight. It's going to be a shit show. Buckle up, and here we go. Suzanne, welcome to the show, finally.
Thanks, Jer. Thanks, Nish.
Yay.
Happy to be here.
Let's make a correction. Suzanne is not a friend of the show. Suzanne is part of the show.
She's an integral part of the show, yes.
She is always this fill-in for me. That's been the stand. I show up always, but it's always been from day one. If I can't make it, it's Suzanne.
Oh yeah, she's a backup host for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but yay, girl, you're here.
Yay!
We've got our shit show boots on, Suze.
Oh my gosh. Well, we've got plenty of ammunition, so, you know.
What are you noticing right now? Let's just go on. Let's start with a bang.
We're going to start him with a bang. So, David Paulides, did you get a chance to watch that yet? Where the video I sent you, and I said he's talking about possession and entity attachments and all the stuff you've been talking about for how long now?
A long time.
And he was skeptical. He was a skeptic about that. And he's full on.
It's
saying he's talked to clergy from all over, all different religions have contacted him since his son's suicide. So, and he said that he's a real believer now.
I'm pretty sure he was like a physical Bigfoot kind of guy too. Or no, wait a minute. He was an anti-Bigfoot guy.
No.
For what?
He did a whole thing about Bigfoot. He wrote a book about Bigfoot he went and spent a couple years with the Hopi Indians up on a reservation in Northern California. I know. I thought he was too.
What am I thinking
because
about?
he won't ever say it's Bigfoot.
Right. That's what I'm thinking about.
So it seems like he's anti-Bigfoot.
Yeah. He'll never equate the missing 411 stuff with cryptids.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. He won't say what he thinks it is.
But now he's on board with all this stuff I've been talking about.
Yes.
He may have been all along and just never been vocal about it. I'm pretty sure he's like a religious dude, so.
Well, you don't have to. I'm not religious, and this stuff is stuff I brought forward in the videos. This is stuff I'm talking about with James Bartley. This is stuff I've been onto because I started to notice it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only notice it, it was coming through in all the downloads and the psychic experiences I was tapping into. And it's like those things. It's like that idea, right? You don't want to. It's so grotesque and weird and out there. You're like, how did I even get onto this? What in the hell? And Suzanne and I've been talking about this for years on our back chats.
Yeah.
So,
it was especially with the John Tenney the show.
Yes.
After that.
Yeah.
It that propelled it forward.
Well, now what are you thinking?
Well, I feel there is most definitely a spiritual war aspect going on. There has to be. Whatever that spiritual
There doesn't have to be.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but it sure feels like it.
I'd say there's definitely an energetic war going on.
Energetic.
If you want to equate that to spiritual, that's fine because, spirit is energy, whatever. But,
right.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just...
It's just that I think a lot of people get knee-jerk about the word spiritual and they think religious. And that's not where I'm coming from.
No, it's energetic is a better word.
It's I mean, we could go on all day about the semantics of spirit and
Come on, let's do it.
Oh. Look, we're having a throwdown.
Throw down those gloves. Yeah.
I'm gonna finally have a cocktail, maybe. No, not.
You said cock.
But I'm going to have one. I'm going to have cocktails Friday, but I I am thrilled and not so thrilled to notice that that came out, Suzanne, and
It
that
was a big thing for me because I thought Dave was very skeptical, and those are things he didn't talk about. And now he's talking about it. And to me, that seems pretty huge. And because I've known, we've talked about it on the back channels, and you've been putting it out for years now.
yes,
So it's just one more proof,
it is. It's one more validating proof from someone that
Yes.
wasn't at least openly admitting to it
Is
or
that-
And
feeling
saying,
Is that
Yeah.
200 proofs yet?
Oh, probably, I'm sure.
Oh,
But saying
Lord.
that he talked to all these clergy people, you know,
And that's what I've been doing. I immediately started to want to get my fingers onto people that are in religions and Vatican type people and others, charismatic Christians. I'm knee deep in trying to reach out to those people because now I have an interest in understanding their mythos and how
Mhm.
that's playing out. And it's been riveting, absolutely riveting. And it's leading me into a very, anyone that's following what I'm doing over there on the Cosmic Salon knows that it's actually riveting. There's some crazy stuff going on, and it's been going on, but it's coming into open rule like this. It's becoming more obvious to normal people in their everyday lives that this kind of stuff's happening, and it's tying in with this weird passive cannibalism and this weird
Yes.
right, you're noticing all
Yes.
that crazy going on, right?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
And not to mention all this lab grown meat.
Oh God.
Yum.
I
I'm
know,
freaked
right?
out by that. There's like part of me
too.
like, okay, I guess, I mean, I don't even know. I actually, Suze, I don't have words. I don't. I find myself kind of shorting out with all of that.
I was just talking to Adam about that. How there are times where I don't have words. All I can do is shake my head. Because, right?
Yeah. Like people lining
It's
up
a
to
head
get
scratch.
the vaccine. Like,
Oh my God, I know. It's the mind control is so deep. Well, it's the fear.
yeah.
It's the fear.
We can't
Well,
call
that's
not a vaccine, it's Action Jackson.
oh yeah. Okay, we got some action, Jackson.
We're going to start using Matt's quantum of conscious hobo codes from now on.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, those hobo codes are awesome.
Yeah. Like 7-Eleven's
Yeah,
a
they
part-time job.
There was something about the guy who owns Goyam Foods in the news. I don't know what it was, but it always makes me laugh because 7-Eleven, they're Goyam, right?
Goya.
Goya.
Goyam, yeah.
Goya.
But they have Goyam food products in there.
No, Goya. Goyam
It
is a
is Goya?
Hebrew.
I thought it was.
No, Goyam's a Hebrew word.
Yeah.
Goya is like a Latin American company.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So
All
I
right.
guess I lost track of what we were talking about.
We're
mind.
all over the board.
I know.
Don't worry
So
We're talking about hobo
I-
codes.
Right, and I thought we were equating that to the gypsy slash Hebrew
Gypsy
Goyam, right?
Yeah. Right.
Separating from that, I didn't realize we were talking about like Goya, the product.
Well, it was both.
Okay, I'm
So.
feeling like a bimbo right now. Hello.
Hello. Yes. Well, 7-Eleven and their Goyam. It's just there's a thing with 7-Eleven. So, and you know how I am. Anyway,
Suzanne, what is going on in your world recently that you can share without, being private, but like, all the fuckery, all the woo, all the stuff that is noticeable. And then I want to get in and remind you that Morgellons is now being taken seriously.
yes, it is finally.
Yeah, you've shaved your head and grew your hair back by now.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's really long now. So, and that was in like 2016,
Yeah,
2015.
it's been
So it
some
was a
time.
long time ago. And yeah, just all the information that I found out, that, you know, anytime you have a health thing, you and I've talked about this, it propels you to either, when you know you're not going to get any help at the regular doctor, you have to do it yourself. And I just saw these people floundering and I thought, oh my God, I don't want to be like that. I'm not going to buy like all these vitamins and stuff. What is the easiest way? I'm always looking for the easiest answer. So, you know, and I believe it was it was like the shocking yourself. So you like reset things, and then all the frequencies I listened to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that really helped out, and cured me. So whatever it was, whatever happened to me, is not happening anymore. So there is hope for people that are living with it still.
Well, more people now. It's like, I mean, they're basically in the test swabs. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my God.
The anal swabs?
No, but
Did you see those are mandatory now in China for foreigners?
Yes,
I don't even know what to say. But the fibers on delicious deep booty swab. And so bend over and get yours. And so the fibers, which have been broken down on lots of videos, are those Morgellons fibers where they're moving and stuff, and they've put them under a microscope. I've seen videos where they're, you know, used right next to cotton swabs, and they're totally tech like that, along with the nano dust and all that stuff that's out, and of course going into your breaking the blood-brain barrier and all this stuff. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah. But it's all psychosomatic. And that's the most frustrating thing is
it's
when
got electrolytes.
Right?
It's got what anuses crave.
We are living in that movie.
I know.
Seriously. This is idiocracy at its finest.
Oh yeah, like hyperbolic, baby.
Oh my God. You know, and you know what I start looking at all the game shows, and I just think, I don't have a TV hooked up in my room, so I don't watch them. I just see, like, sometimes you'll see an ad for it on Twitter or something. And you're like, really, that game show's still on? Or wait, what? They're putting a new game show. You know, have you ever looked at the game shows and how stupid they are?
I have not, but it is good. I think it is wise to keep your finger on the pop culture and mainstream pulse to actually see what's being digested.
It looks, I don't know. I just shake my head because I think all these voting shows. I'm sorry if people like them. I was never a fan. It just seems like we're so dumbed down, you know. Jeopardy was the biggest show, right? Where you could actually learn something. Or
yeah, well, I mean, there were shows that actually pushed, you know, trivia shows, right? There were shows that actually featured that idea, and so, you know, let's buy a vowel. Well, what is a vowel? You know, like,
right.
You know, and you're putting together words and you're doing funny things like that.
Oh, Wheel of Fortunes. I tried to get on that show for years.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
What happened? No go?
Every time they came to Chicago or Atlanta, I signed up, but I never got called or anything.
My sister worked for it. If I'd have known you, then I could have gotten you on.
Oh, that'd been awesome. They had a test you had to take.
What kind of test?
Like, it was sample questions. So
did you take the test?
Yeah, every time. This was 10, 15 years ago, but
yeah.
I used to love Wheel of Fortune, but yeah, I agree. The new shows are just. It's like the masses want to watch other people fail.
Right.
Is that what it is?
That's always been my take on it. But now they have these really weird things like that furry show. I forget what it's called. Where they sing in furry suits.
Oh my God, the maskless singer or something
like that.
Or
yeah.
The masked singer?
I've never seen it.
I think that was one of the shows that I was like, what, are you fucking kidding me? So
yeah, I mean, I've never seen it, but it's just the idea of it's hideous. I mean, how could you sit through? And the show's like, there's this person I follow on Twitter, who's going to come on the show one of these days. I've already talked to her. She's from England. Her name's June something. She's like the evil Barbie is her Twitter handle. Anyway,
that's funny.
She's an actress in England, and she watches all these crappy shows like The Bachelor, and I don't even know all the rest of them, but she always tweets about, she can't believe this happened on this show. I'm like, oh my God, you watch the worst shit.
So she's actually into him?
Oh, yeah.
And we're having her on the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
She, aside from her poor television habits, she's actually kind of cool.
I'm sure. I'm just making light.
And now she's going to hear this and never come on, and she's going to block me on Twitter.
Well, you've done that to a lot of people anyway.
I've never blocked anyone.
You have
you've made someone block you.
Yeah, you have turned so many people away.
Let me rephrase that. I have never preemptively blocked anyone. But if you block me, I'm going to fucking block you, okay?
Oh, yeah, those are my rules of engagement, too. I follow with the follow unless you're a porn account, and then I look and see if it's... But I also block for a block. If somebody's blocked me, I'm like, oh, damn, what did I do here? That's rough. So you not only unfriend me, but you got to block me, too.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to harass you? Please.
I got on some kind of shitty woke leftist Twitter ban list or something. A bunch of people blocked me who I don't even know. Like, why are you blocking me? I don't even know you.
I think I did too, because I had dropped like 30 people. Like it was like an instant thing. I was like, holy crap, 30 people? What happened? And so like
I lost to like, what did I say, 15 in the last day.
Yeah, it's been noticeable too, and I'm on private.
Not that I care.
Because of crazy.
And yes, Jay Armstrong said the Gong Show was fun. The Gong Show was awesome. Any Chuck Barris,
I love the Gong Show.
Any Chuck Barris property was a great idea. That dude was brilliant.
Okay, so I loved the era of Hollywood Squares with Paul Lynde.
Yes. Those were game shows.
Oh my God. That stuff was so funny with Phyllis Diller. And I mean, all those old school, what was his name? Oh God, you can't have these comedians anymore. Joan Rivers.
I know.
Rodney Dangerfield. I mean,
no respect.
You can't have these kinds of comedians anymore. That stuff was gold.
It was.
How about like Richard Pryor or
any of them?
Don
Rickles.
Come on,
Don Rickles would be canceled immediately.
Now.
Don Rickles. I'm surprised everything has been canceled. What about Red Fox? He was fabulous.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but hilarious. I mean, Saturday Night Live right now today is the entertainment wing of the mainstream media.
Yes.
Propaganda narrative, it's all.
Yep.
I haven't watched it, and for me, the golden era of SNL was the 70s and maybe early 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys follow Paul Romano. I know if Suzanne does, but
I do not. Is that
Pockets of the Future is his channel?
Mm-hmm.
I've invited him on the show. He had never responded. Paul, if you're listening, please come on. But anyway, he publishes videos about SNL occasionally, but he always brings up this point that there's always a joke about baby eating in the show somewhere. Buried in the show, there's baby eating.
There is.
Yeah.
He's right.
I know.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
See, this is stuff I'm on about. That is, of course there is. It's bizarre that this is also in our faces, and yet people are not seriously questioning this shit.
Yeah.
Hello?
No words.
The
It's
word
so
it went
crazy.
silent because I said shit and should instead of shite.
No, it was silent because I was muted and I'm looking for this guy's channel to drop it in.
Oh my gosh. No, it's true. There's so much of that stuff in our face. It's just whether or not we're in tune with what's going on, you know? I think a lot of
Yes.
times people just tune
Well, okay,
out.
so Suzanne, what else?
Yeah, sorry, I got off on a
But you
tangent
should
there
have that.
about the game shows.
This should be though,
Um,
that should be our right, is to tune in and tune out and not have everything canceled. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't
yeah,
like me,
exactly.
don't like me. It's all right.
Right.
That's what a reasonable society does. That's what a
Yeah.
free society does.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, how many people right now in society are holding their tongues because we know that there was some shenanigans that went on in November and we just have to sit and take it.
Oh, well, it's like the greatest show on earth, as Monty says. I cannot even,
Yes.
it is so hard for me to sit and seriously watch any of it because it's so beyond ridiculous. It is so beyond Mad TV. It's so beyond Idiocracy. It's like
Oh
at
my
a
God.
new level. This man
The
can't string.
hearts on the lawn.
Girl, seriously, he can't string a word together, a sentence together, and he's always accidentally saying what's going on in his ear. Meanwhile, he's got teleprompters, and then people have to step in and answer for him, and then they have to shuffle him off literally. I mean, it's just
Or cut his feed.
unbelievable. I mean, are people just objectively looking at this? I don't care who you sworn
I
your
know,
fealty
that's the
to.
thing.
That was my rant.
I can't believe that people aren't objectively looking at it. Like, but like it has to be a belief. And like you said, though, you know, there are people that are diehard, and so they'll see it, but they'll choose to look over it, you know, or just a lot of people will say, well, there's been election screwery in every election, so they'll discount it like that. But to this level, really? We didn't see it before.
Well, Suzanne, what did you think about? Okay, so the evidence was in with those damn Dominion machines.
Yes.
And I don't care who you are. If you spent the time without knee jerking and caring and just stepping back from your candidate,
Right.
and looked at that and looked at the evidence. I mean, they hacked one while they were doing the court,
Yes.
they actually hacked one in live time and proved. Now, this is beyond the evidence of the video evidence and all
Right.
the people coming forward saying it was fuckery straight up and all the other hardcore evidence that nobody seemed to care about. Then
all the affidavits,
all of it is crazy. I spent hours listening to all those people, looking at all those documents, looking at the videos, and I didn't have a horse in this game. I was so put off by the
I didn't either.
whole goddamn thing. And so, and then the history of Dominion, in Venezuela and all this. And then we went on ahead and we used those same damn machines in the other elections with all this controversy. And we went ahead and used these same damn machines. Now tell me this isn't idiocracy.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, how is it? Okay, so even in like a sane world, there's a dispute with these machines. There's been a dispute in other countries with these machines. There's a dispute here, and we hold voting as a sacred act. So maybe we won't use them just because of that. No matter in an allegedly clean election, after the presidential stuff, and they went on a heat.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. And there's more states going to vote them in to use them. Who was it? I just read another state was voting on whether to use that, and I'm thinking, but here's the thing: Dominion is suing for all those millions of dollars. So we're supposed to believe because they put out.
They're suing the My Pillow guy.
Oh my God!
And Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, and Rudy. And let's see if it ever goes to court.
Nah.
Because Discovery.
People only sue like that when they're wrong.
Yes, exactly.
It's beyond. So like the whole point of this is none of that actually matters. If it's just slightly got a dispute as far as if anyone's concerned about their votes and the credibility of that process, if there's anything in that process that is proving to be controversial or not has any kind of anything that would suggest it could be an unstable link in the chain, then you pull that out and you use something else. That would be the logical thing to do, right?
Right.
But no, we went on ahead.
Oh, we doubled down.
We doubled
That's the
down.
American way.
I mean, and then there were no surprises, of course, because you don't have to be psychic these days in the world of idiocracy. No,
you don't. You just have to know how to read a history book.
Oh my God, it's electrolytes. Electrolytes.
Do you know that's what I kept seeing on Twitter? Like after people were getting the jab, then getting sick. That's what the hospitals and the doctors were telling them to get electrolytes.
I did not know that. Holy crap. You can't. That is okay. That's golden. That's golden. That's seriously. Oh my God.
I know. I kept seeing that. And that's exactly what Andy's parents said, that their doctor told them after they got it and they got sick. It's, you got to get those electrolytes. I'm just like, no way. God.
It's so funny.
The movie. Yeah.
The last interaction I had with Jared Murphy and I have like a continuing thing, and he's in Minnesota, and it's the land of 3M, and they've got hard science around real mass for real jobs. So, and he works in the field doing restorations and stuff, and so he's very familiar with masking, and so there's science. There actually is real science, people, around masking. There's real science. And in our administration that is valuing science, that's telling us to put straps of cloth on our face, should value that. And actually, if we need to mask up, if this is somehow a real pandemic, which it's not, then we should have real masks that are fitted to us and are actually appropriate for what they're suggesting we're facing, and embrace actual real science through companies like 3M instead of doubling down and throwing another piece of cloth on your face so you have 2 or 3.
Right.
Oh, girl, I was at the Home Depot, Suzanne, Jerry.
What happened?
So this was this weekend, and I just had a scarf around. So I'm not trying to be pinpointed out. I don't want the moments of the body snatcher moments. I'm just not having
exactly.
It. I'm in the Portland area. This won't end well. And so I will be skinned and everything. And so I'm doing all fine. There are actually two men in there without masks on, and I had the scarf on around my neck, and I just put my head down in it. And it was
Mhm.
kind of like a litmus test in a weird way. And nobody was noticing me. When they do, they're afraid of me anyway. And because I walk like a scary bitch, and with my long flowing robes and beautiful essence. I'm joking here. Well, the robes are real. But anyway, so by the time I get to checkout, there's a big, strapping, tall, big old man, and he looks at me and he double takes. Now, meanwhile, I've been through the store and the staff has said hello to me. Everyone's been very nice, and I didn't have a mask on. And I was kind of really enjoying this. And so I get there and the man points his finger at me. So I'm having flashback 1970s body snatchers. And he points his finger at me. He points his finger at me and he says, "See, there's another one," like that. And I was like, holy shit. Now, see, I was prepared to say I had all these different responses. And I noticed that he'd actually had two masks on, by the way.
Oh.
And I said, "Oh, I forgot." Like that. I kind
Mhm.
of gave the bimbo giggle, but
Mhm.
I'm a scary kind of looking person in some ways, and to someone like that. And so
Mhm.
he didn't confront me further, but it was like I made it all the way to the end and I got the finger thrown right at me. There's
Ugh.
another one.
Gosh.
It was very intriguing. It was
Yeah.
intriguing. It was the first time because usually I'm prepared and I have my piece of lace that I wear. So,
Yeah.
because I'm not trying to rock the boat, and like I said,
No.
I've seen all the crazy. There's crazy out here and
Oh, yeah.
they will attack you here. And so
Yeah.
I just was not prepared, and I was prepared to say I forgot, but I wasn't expecting to be as flippant as I really was in kind of a bimbo-y way. I wasn't.
Well,
I'm saying bimbo, and I'm being hyperbolic about that. It was
no, exactly.
bimbo for me. So
Right.
I don't play bimbo really well, but for me it was a bimbo overture.
Yeah. Well, it warranted it, right?
Girl,
Use it
there's
in a
another one.
situation.
There's another one, Suze. I was like, holy shit, what's gonna happen? I felt like
I
there
know,
was gonna
right?
be like an alarm going off and
Is it gonna be a throwdown? Oh my
holy
god.
shit, escape
Are
from
they
Home
gonna put two
Depot.
masks on me? I know, right?
Hey,
Jesus.
want to give a shout out to CW Chanter in chat tonight.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
Oh,
hey,
hey, CW.
CW up in the crib.
he can't stay
There you
away from
go.
Suzanne. And I got a picture of Donna
Yeah.
Sutherland up from Invasion of the Body Snatchers too. Just for you, Nish.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
that's let me look, because tonight I am actually there. That's basically, if you throw a mask on that, that's what I saw at the checkout.
Oh my
And like I said,
gosh.
if it were serious, companies like 3M with
Yeah.
proper masking and all that, we would be looking at real types of masks that deal with these types of
Particles.
Retards.
particles.
Oh, sorry.
And
Yes.
but there's a real science around masking, and it's not just strapping some thin fabric to your face, and it's
No.
not just strapping two layers. There's a real science, and that's my whole point here. We're being
Yes.
told, for the sake of science and for the sake of our health, that these things work. Well, they don't work, and we should, if we're going to do it right and actually
Right.
do it science based. And companies like 3M have the real deal science on this. So that's what's suspicious to me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm suspicious when anybody's pushing something so hard. Right?
No, you said hard.
When they're pushing it so hard that, like, to get the vaccine. Why? Why are they pushing it so hard? What the fuck is in it?
I just wanted to throw
they
in
want
here.
everybody to have.
Sorry.
What?
No, I just wanted to put in here that Alex Tsakiris from Skeptico put out a show yesterday with a doctor talking about mask studies It was pretty interesting. He was calling bullshit on all of them. You know how he usually
The doctor
does.
was?
No,
Oh,
Alex
Alex.
Or
was.
Alex was.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'll drop the link in chat. It was a pretty good show though.
Well,
I saw.
but it's the best thing I've heard. You know, it was Jared Murphy saying this is because he's in the field. Like when he deals with lead, there's a proper filtration mask for dealing with lead particles. When he's
Yeah.
dealing, you know, with asbestos, there are proper masks
Right.
that deal with those particles. And the fact that this is supposed to be science-based and we've got people
Right.
saying science, science, science,
Right.
and then that's what we're being told, and that's not science.
And
So
it's not science. Yeah.
what are we supposed to do here, Suze?
But
I mean,
two
come
masks
on.
is scientific. Come on.
Right. Well, I tell you what, Dr. Kevin McCarran, he's a neuroscientist, and he did a lot of work, or I think he's got the paper on prion disease in primates. And I don't want to talk out of turn because I don't know exactly. I should have his titles and everything. But anyway, he's super smart, and he's talking about the prion diseases with this virus and how it could, you know, we could be looking at something like that, like huge number of people, but we don't know because the science isn't in. Why isn't the science in? We should have known all these things right now. We should know if there's prion disease in this virus, you know, or the vaccine, the mRNA vaccine. Every day I read stories. Well, we just don't know. The scientists don't know if you can still get it or transmit it even after you've been vaccinated for it. Really?
Action Jacksonated.
Sorry.
Did you all see that that thing from Mr. Facebook Zuckerberg, the private thing?
Yes.
Employees. That was something, right?
That was, right?
Hey, yep. Where
even he said, well, we don't know if it could change your DNA.
Right. And so, I mean, the thing is, it's all right to be asking questions, but we're being ostracized for asking
Yes, we are.
questions. And if you're asking questions, you're all of a sudden a fucking racist. What
I
the
know,
hell?
right?
You're far right Nazi if you ask questions.
When did asking questions turn you into that? And when did trying to look at something from a reasonable stance throw you automatically into a white supremacist, racist, whatever? I mean,
homophobic.
Yeah,
like you're all those things.
Well,
like you hate everyone.
I mean, these are tactics from like Saul Alinsky.
Yes.
Oh, totally.
I mean, that's what's happening.
Yes, it really is.
So what, rules for radicals? Is that what it is?
Rules for radicals. Yeah.
Jerry, you're racist for saying that.
I probably am. This is what I was saying, how I lost like 10 followers on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I made a comment about, there was an article in Pink News or whatever the fuck that thing is called, about how if you're a male and you have sex with another man,
oh God, I saw
you can be straight and have sex with another man and not be gay. And I said, well, you know, that's cool. I don't care, but I don't want to do it. And the fact that I don't want to do it is likely considered to be homophobic by the far left.
I did that. I responded to that. That might be why I got tag teamed and lost some people after that.
But it's just like the idea of sexual preference is gone. It's like, I was thinking about this today, and I didn't mean to derail this conversation, but it seems that whatever you want to call it, that group of people want to pigeonhole or collect everyone into they want to categorize and label everyone, right?
Yes.
And once you're categorized and labeled, you cannot stray. You can't get out of that lane.
Yeah.
You know, and if you do, that's when they shoot you down. It's annoying. And it's the funniest thing is it's like such a tiny percent of people. They're just very vocal.
I know.
It's a squeaky wheel.
Yeah.
That's for
well,
sure.
You know, this is the thing, and everyone knows, and I don't even know if I can say this anymore. I really don't know what I can say, but I've been a lifelong fag hag. So, honey, I love my gays and I love my queens.
Yep.
And I don't ever remember them being like what I'm seeing now being portrayed. And I'm still friends with my gays and my queens. I
So
don't,
am I.
and they're not like this. So I don't know.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what's going on with all that. And what I know though is I do know, because I do know this, that a lot of married straight men and clergymen will go to the booths or go to the rest area or go to the bathhouses or call the escorts, and they have their trysts, right? I know this because I'm friends with people that, I mean, I've known this my whole life. And
Mhm.
so it's not like, so they're living these double lives. I think they can, some of these consider themselves full on straight, what do they call them now? Cisgendered men. And they're having their lives, and then
No. That's not allowed on the show.
and
Just call
they,
them normal men.
well, whatever. I'm fine with cis, but it's because it makes me feel like I'm saying sissy. But anyway, so I have been aware of that my whole life, having a lot of gay friends and enjoying gay counterculture, because that's where the punks, we were all thrown into being the outcast together. The
Yeah,
punks
that's
and the
true.
goths and the new
Mhm.
wavers and the gay people. We were all the outsiders. And so in the clubs, we were all intermingling. And so at least when I came up, that was standard. And so this is something that I've always known. But I also feel that there are men that would not cross that barrier. I've known many, and I don't think they're I've always taken them at that barrier where they think that that's a gay thing. They don't want to suck dick. They don't want to take dick. And and they like vagina. And so, and that's all right. Boy, that's
Mhm.
becoming so rare, but that's all right. And then there are these people on the in between that seem to have the secret lives, right? And
Mhm.
so I've been aware of that, but then to see this media push of that's not gay. I'm sorry, if you are trying to pretend like you're straight, what that used to be called in my day, this is going to be surprising, right? Is called bisexual.
Yeah, right.
Is that word still around?
I know. I don't know. I think they wrote it out of the dictionary.
I mean, there used to be this category that was called bisexual, and it meant you could pull up to some dick or you could pull up
Exactly.
badge.
And you know what? Very few people give a shit if you are or not.
This is seriously
In
like
this
people's
day and
private
age.
lives, right?
Right, exactly.
Unless it's under unless it's something that's
Right.
really breaching terrible stuff. And where
Yes.
the whole pedo thing, all that. But other than that, it's nobody's damn business. And why is
Exactly.
this stuff being so politicized?
Yeah, why are they throwing it feels like they're throwing everything out to see what sticks. Like to just be the most crazy, bizarre, like I don't know. Because it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
The things that they're throwing out there trying to make people believe
Right.
is insane.
Well, it's in the world we're in right now. What actually is? What's sane now, Suze?
Nothing. I mean,
I mean,
I don't
come
think
on now.
anything is sane.
We've got a new dictionary to work with here.
Exactly. Oh my God. All the urban myths and look at all the conspiracy theories that were theories, but they're now truths.
Oh yeah. Well, this is one of the beautiful things. If you look back at some of the hardcore conspiracy theories of yesterday, right? And I'm
Yes.
using the long yesterday. They're all out. A lot of them are out on the table now. Look at
Yes.
robotics. the stuff with DARPA, and I mean, there's so much stuff that was just completely like that'll never happen. And here we are. Look at their surveillance system that we're
Yep.
living with. Look at the biometric system. Look at all this stuff that we're doing. Look at this fucking lockdown.
I know. And look at the papers that people have found that had everything about it listed, everything that we're going through right now listed out in that lockstep paper.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
right?
That girl, that's conspiracy, child.
I know. Even though it's a fucking blueprint of what we're going through right now.
You talking cray, you're racist.
You're a far right conspiracy theorist.
You're Trumper. You're Trump.
Yeah,
I see you in your MAGA hat.
Yeah, we know it.
Oh my gosh.
I wish I had some good clips like from James to play.
Oh, I know.
Execute the baby.
This is the thing, though. We do have to laugh while we still can, and in platforms like this, while we still can,
we're going to be laughing to the gulag.
They're going to haul us off. That's for sure. And
don't get on the trains.
Oh, listen, honey, I put some pounds on during this lockout. They're going to have to take a bitch down.
Did you? I've actually lost like 35 or 40 pounds.
I got it.
So
thank you very much, Suze. Thank you.
It was transferred.
Not only do I have, not only have I named my vagina Igor, as everyone knows, I've now named my belly. Oh, and here's the joke. I did not know this, so I named my belly Esther.
Oh, that's funny.
But there's a comedian out there that also named her belly Esther. So
really?
We got double Esters going.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm about 6 months pregnant. I'm going, all you chubby chasers out there, hey. I'm working with it now, baby.
There you go. You got to use it.
2020 gave me extra.
You got a little something. That's funny.
It's like the magic Buddha belly now. I'm just like,
oh,
right.
Those are fun.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. Yeah. Although I have decided, I made a decision today. I'm like, all right, I am going to focus on trying to eat more. No, just kidding. I made no decisions, but I'm cracking myself up. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's not only the belly, though. It's the ass. It's the arse. I'm just well-rounded now.
Well, that's okay. I think you're in good company. I think a lot of people have gained weight on this. And honestly, I don't know. I just lost my appetite. Like, I don't know what happened. I wasn't
really
hungry.
So you've just stopped eating?
Yeah, it felt like when I got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. Like, I wasn't depressed, but it was I don't know, it felt more like anxiety because I was really anxious about everything that was going on and constantly reading and it made me really anxious. So maybe that's what it is.
I do the opposite. I tend to really go for comfort foods. And and not so much sweets, though. I like I guess they they turn into sweets, but the starchy
carbohydrates.
Stuff. Yeah. And especially my favorite food on the planet. My favorite food is a potato.
Me too.
And what's my next favorite? Cheese. And when we put them together, you have magic.
I know. I love cheese fries.
Oh my God, cheese and potatoes, you can't go wrong. And do you, when you've made mashed potatoes, like, so I grew up, this is a thing that I grew up with. We'd make mashed potatoes, and my granny always put, aside from she put all kinds of old school stuff in, but she always used half and half and butter in her
Yeah.
mashed potatoes.
Yep.
That's like old school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing tastes like that. It's so good.
I know, right?
I mean, seriously. And when I've served mashed potatoes to people, they don't understand it because somehow they were deprived of the magic of half and half and butter in their mashed potatoes.
They didn't taste that creamy goodness with the gooey butter and the little, I mean,
right? Like this is thick magic.
it is.
You guys haven't lived until you had crispy French fries with Parmesan cheese and truffle oil.
Oh, yes, yes, I have. And is that a Chicago thing? Because I
No.
think that's where I was definitely enjoying those at different restaurants I worked at with the truffles.
Those sound good. Not a Chicago thing? Just a thing?
No, it's just a thing.
Huh.
That's where I first experienced the truffle on it. So, one of the things I like are the greasy spoon hash browns. And I make them. You put them in the,
oil.
Girl, please, always oil.
It's like I want to go to Canada just so I can have poutine.
I want to try that so bad.
Oh, that made me think of pupusas from El Salvador. Oh my God.
Those empanadas.
Oh, pupusas.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Oh, I know. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I have an Esther now.
It's really funny though, because we have been eating so many potatoes and potato things. And it is a comfort food.
It totally is a comfort food. It's one of those foods that's on every list to avoid if you don't want to gain weight. It's like it's like the main, it's like across the board.
It's like 100% carbohydrates. That's why.
Yes.
And in this world too, I'm surprised they're not considered like top of the food chain, what you should be doing in this upside down world. And yet they're still in that corner of no.
I know. So what do you think is going to happen next? This is what I keep asking people.
I'm suspicious.
Alien invasion.
Okay.
Are we going to go there? Are we going to have that?
This is what, here's what I think is going on. Obviously Texas got targeted, right?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
So so they're unmasking. And now in a couple other states are unmasking. And I think the targeting is going to continue because what I keep hearing is, and Sophia Smallstorm sent me all the stuff to read where I'm having her on. And oh my God.
We got to get her on this show. I've been meaning to write to her.
Sophia is awesome. Anyway,
yes.
I've been going through all this stuff. And so with the way if I'm starting to understand this RNA stuff, okay, so there's the immediate reaction people are having, the crazy reactions and the death tolls and all that. And you go to your favorite government sponsored organization with the C and ends with a and
Clowns in America.
Right. And so there are all those immediate responses, but then there's this kind of time lock code a lot of people are talking about, 3 to 6 months, right? So Texas got set up for this power grid failure because they're the ones saying, well, we've got our own power grid.
Right. Exactly.
Right? So they got an example made of them.
Yes,
and
they did.
Now they're saying, well, we're unmasking, and I can't help but wonder, is there going to be a further example made when the real effects of whatever they're giving people start to actually hone in? And now if we look at the stuff Celeste was talking about with the with what's being in it itself, so the nanoparticulates and all this, and then first of all and second of all, you are owned now by that corporation, and who holds the patent? The king of the world. And so your flesh is technically owned. It's just like Monsanto does with their seeds when they when they spill over into the organic farm next door, then they own
Yep.
everything over there. Your
Mhm.
body is then owned because it's got that owned patent by the king of the world.
Right.
And so, but I think now we could see something really grotesque with a lot of very bad reactions and possible deaths, and who knows what
Mhm.
other kind of scary, furthering this example made by Texas, where everything's bigger.
Right. You know what I saw? I saw a lot of people saying, don't give them the vaccine.
Yeah. God, I was saying that was like Keith Olbermann was talking about that.
Yeah. Don't
That-
give those states the vaccine. Isn't that nuts?
Well, what's crazy
I
about
mean,
it?
I think it's nuts
It
anyway,
is,
but
it is.
to say something like that, to just paint all those people with that brush.
Tim Pool was talking about this today, how Texas has more Democratic voters than Republican right now. So
Yeah.
they're basically telling, Democrats can't
Is that
have the vaccine.
Austin?
Probably.
Oh wait, are these Dominion polls? I
don't
mean,
know, I don't know. But
can I see the data, please?
He
and
brought
the
up a good
source?
point that, all these people are bitching, don't give, that they're going to kill. The Texas is gonna fucked up everyone because they're gonna, the virus is gonna go crazy now in Texas. Blah blah blah. But Biden has opened the borders down there, and they're letting COVID patients go.
Oh yeah.
And that's in every border state, not just Texas. So I mean, why aren't they complaining about that?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, what's making the news? And, this is the main arm of the propaganda factory.
Cuomo's sexual allegations. That's what's in the news right now. That seems to be the big thing. And then, Texas, how they're going to kill grandma.
Yeah.
Oh,
and guess who's really killing grandma? Who's killing grandma?
Cuomo.
Yeah.
Well, at least in New York.
Yep. There was so many things. In Germany, there was a nursing home where they were holding patients down, forcefully giving them their vaccines against their will.
Where?
Had the military there.
Where's that?
Oh my God.
In Germany.
Yeah.
There was a video.
She will take the vaccine.
Oh my God. That's so terrifying. I can't even compute that in my head. I can't. That is really nightmare stuff.
Yeah, it is to me too.
So Suzanne, you were posing this question though, so with the alien stuff, because they certainly are amping this up.
They are.
So what are you seeing here with that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's inevitable, but I don't know what they're gonna do though. I haven't really looked at it recently. I just see all the postings and stuff and how it's really out there in the mainstream now. And they're not pushing it very hard, but the whole NASA stuff they're pushing real hard right now. And so it's
and
almost
Mars.
Yes, and Mars. That they can't send us a real picture from. So I've got to believe
because they don't have any
fake pictures. I know. Oh no, wait. Supposedly they send us real pictures, right?
Allegedly.
But we didn't see a real picture of the rover.
Yeah, and
who took a picture
of that?
Meanwhile, last week Jerry tried to send me the link 5 different times, and it wouldn't get to my email from Georgia to Washington
for like an hour.
We got pictures trying to come in from Mars, like presto.
Yeah, right.
Through the Van Allen belt and everything. Come on. This is like what it's about, like being reasonable with some of this.
Yes.
The tech's not even happening here on planet.
I know. It just seems, I don't know. I mean, we know that they have tech out there. We know that there's tech that we don't know about.
Very advanced, definitely.
Yes.
But what that is, Well, we get it. It's used against us.
Right, exactly. And there's a lot more people talking about us as batteries, using us as batteries, our frequencies. That was a DARPA project like in 2016 I read about.
I know, my God, it's so
Remember all that
216.
time ago? Yeah. It's crazy. The things, and then people, oh
No,
no, that's
wait.
insane.
It's so Matrix. Like, how long is that? 20 years ago? I mean, come on. This is definitely old tech.
I know. Oh, and what's really been coming up into my field lately is the oh God, Robert's book, the one where they use the tech where they could hide, the invisibility tech.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, incredible.
And that's really been coming up. I don't know if that's going to be coming out. I don't know why that's been coming up for me lately, but so something with that's going to come out where they're using that. Because usually when I keep getting something, then, keep seeing something over and over, then it comes out.
Yeah.
In the next year or so.
Yeah. Well, it's been dropped here and there.
Yes, it has. So that should be interesting. We'll have to, and this whole war with Iran that I think is coming. I think that's coming.
Well, what did we didn't even get 9 days in to
I know
36 days till the bombing.
Whatever. I mean, come on. What in the actual hell? I was like, are people actually paying attention? No.
It's back to business as usual. That's well, I mean, that's why they want to get rid of Trump. He was drawing down our troops. He was getting out of these conflicts that are never ending. He was hurting the military industrial complex, so they had to get rid of him. And that's why they wanted Biden, because he's going to just continue on the Bush Obama policies that were prevalent in the last 20 years.
But see, my point was earlier that that he can't string his words together. He can't do anything. This is a senile
demented.
But here's the point. Here's the point with all that. If ever there was a time when you wanted to open your eyes and see that the presidency is just a show, that there's a deep state behind it, now is the time to actually step back and look, because this man is clearly talking from his thing, salute the soldier. So, he's just mirroring what's going on in his head with the mic, or, everything about it, all the optics, everything is showing you that he's not running the show.
Yes.
And so if you could just get past your fealty to a party, an actual party, and realize that he, like all other heads of state in that office, are at least in modern history. And Trump may have been a wrench in the machine, who knows, but he did push this vaccine. There's crazy stuff like that.
He did. I know.
At least now I think it's easy to see that the president doesn't call the shots, and it's very clear.
Yeah.
At least it is to me, more than ever. It was always clear.
Oh yeah.
But now it's like the man behind the curtain is not. The curtain's open, and you can see a little old senile man trying to find his penis
with black eyes. What the fuck is up with his eyes?
Girl, he is. I don't know. Is he even human?
I know.
He's something.
Now
that's some deep woo woo.
Well, tell us.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I've been telling you. Suzanne, you tell us.
So what's funny? Something that came up in the news that I saw this week. It kind of got buried quickly, but that Trump and Melania got the vaccine before they left the White House.
Yeah, I saw that.
And didn't tell anyone, and they made a big deal about it in the news, like, they didn't tell anyone. It's like, I thought medical treatment was private.
Right?
You're right.
You know, and
Exactly.
who cares if they didn't tell anybody?
I
They did.
know.
I don't believe for 1 second they did, personally. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And I don't buy for 1 second, having listened to some of these private clips, although you can't buy anything right now, and we've proven this with stupid apps where you can put your face on anyone's, deep fakes, all of
Yep.
it. Your voice can be faked, all of it. Everything you see on TV and on videos and stuff now should be high suspect. And I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
that's just the world we live in now.
It
And
is.
it is, you've got to come at it from that stance.
But the thing about all this stuff that's out, like the deepfake stuff, is that is now consumer level, which means it's been at a intelligence agency level
Yes.
for years. And if you remember back, I think it was like 2014, someone made a video about this system that could live mimic someone, even their voice. I'll have to dig
Yes.
up the video. It was George Bush. Someone was like,
I had that on my something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was George
yeah.
Bush, Jerry.
Yeah, but that was 7 years ago,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
deep
Well,
fakes weren't a
it's,
thing then. That's all. Sorry.
but that is old tech. I mean, there's that new tech where we saw that it's not even new tech, where we saw the guy brain hacking, right? We saw him hacking into other people's
Yep.
stuff. And this was to the conference was to military people. I'd posted it on Twitter. And there they are in one room controlling a guy in another room, and it's a military grade video. It's for military, and they were in there in his brain, basically interfacing with him, causing him to do stuff he didn't, wasn't in control of.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think Elon Musk's Neuralink's going to be like?
Bingo, hello, daddy, hit the tail.
And they got it working in monkeys now, allegedly.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do.
Allegedly.
But this is woo. I mean, this is coming out in this is actually not woo.
No.
No, and I saw a report, a news story, I think it was on Live Science last week or week before, that they can tap into lucid dreams now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's getting around. And again, this is not new tech.
No, it's
Nope.
new to the public.
Right. Okay, Jerry, you said it. It's consumer level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but that's the thing. So even though they're presenting it now in stupid articles, and some of it they're presenting is very cool, and then also you can get this app. Everyone's got that app on Instagram, where they're putting their faces on all these movie, the
Insta what?
and where they're putting their faces on little clips from movie scenes. I'm seeing tons of them.
Oh wow.
And they're good. They're really, really good. And so, I just posted to Twitter how good the fake, the manipulated bots are now. You can't tell them. They're indistinguishable from humans as far as their digital appearance on camera. Their hair, usually hair was one of the tricky things, right?
Right.
And they talk about it in the video, how they've really gotten the hair to everything, doing close-ups, everything. And so
Wow.
they've been in use in a lot of these infomercials where you see people, or generic videos where you see people riding bikes and doing this and that. And it's all these people. Those are all fake people. They're all computer generated people.
Oh, wow.
You cannot trust anything. And then, like we've been talking about for years on these shows,
Yeah.
come on, Dio was on tour before we started Nox Mente.
That's right.
Dio's ass was out there rocking it. His hologram was out there rocking it before we started Nox Mente. So, I mean, come on. And
Yeah.
people are still going fake, 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 fake. Well, you know what? At what point are the fake?
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's really hard to tell.
more human than human, right?
Gosh.
That's the Umbrella Corporation, not the Umbrella. That's the Tyrell Corporation from
Blade
Blade
Runner.
Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, more human than
Oh.
human. 9 Inch Nails song. That's
So how much of this are we manifesting for them?
well. Now you're talking esoteric stuff, Suzanne. You're getting deep. Don't do that.
Well,
We're
Yeah,
gonna lose
what are you-
everyone. Not
what are you,
not our
crazy?
audience. Not our audience. But
not our audience. They're right into this.
it's got electrolytes.
It's what plants crave. It's what clones crave.
Yes.
No, that is a really good point. I think well, it's not how much. Yeah, yes, we're manifesting it, but we're being programmed to manifest it.
Yeah.
You know, this is the future that is wanted by whatever is driving the global narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever's driving this particular part of the simulation. I mean, it really, it so much feels more like a simulation all the time.
And it feels like it's broken.
It does
Yes.
feel like it's broken.
Not that it's broken. I really like this idea that it the script ended and we're writing our own script now.
Oh, well, shit. We need to get better writers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
We need to start writing ourselves.
Well, we were in our preamble, you know, we're mentioning time, how time is really weird for everyone right now. And I
Mhm.
think everyone. And I mean, like I said, I had just clipped my nails down. So I had two February 26th this year. And I went and that's a very specific day for me because one of my girls is born on February 26th. So I went over and I wished her happy birthday and many returns and all this and all that because it's the
Mhm.
26th. And also I'm born on a 26th and the other one's born on a 26th, just different months.
Mhm.
And so it's like that happened. And in that same narrative, I had clipped down all my nails to the quick. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I was having 2 weird nights of sleep. And then it was the 26th again. And I had long nails.
Whoa.
And Lindsay we'd already been like had the exchange with the happy birthdays. It was acknowledged on her end. So she was having the 26th experience too. And it was just like so blatant and in my face. I don't even know what to say. It was one of the most blatant experiences of timeline shifts I have ever experienced. It was just 2 days difference.
Wow.
So it was like when I noticed I had the long nails was the 28th. And then so it bounced between the 26th and the 28th. And that's, I don't even know. I'm still in awe of it.
That is that
And got a new license registration thing. And now are we in a leap year?
No.
And on it says the 29th. We're not in a leap year.
No.
So let me throw one more thing into this.
I can throw a picture of that.
That'd be cool. There have been Earth rotational glitches lately.
Really?
Really.
Oh my God.
I just want to throw that out there. I mean, it's not a lot of time. We're talking like 50 milliseconds kind of thing, but it is, the days are shortening.
Well, and it feels like it. It does feel like it. There's something.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it feel like it's like happening fast? Everything's happening. Where did 2020 go?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, right? Here's the thing. You were talking about you had 2 days. When I was at Ashley's house, I got there on a Monday and then I left on a Friday, but like I don't really remember Tuesday and Wednesday. It was like those days were so fast. I don't know. when I think back about it, I was like, I don't know, even know what happened those 2 days. They just went by like that. And usually that doesn't happen. So that was kind of weird. And then you had this whole time slip thing.
Big major.
It's definitely something to, yeah, you had it major. Well, it's something to start paying attention to more. Cause you know how you just kind of go, oh yeah, that was weird. I guess I was just busy or wasn't thinking. You know how you just slough it off.
Well, this one was so big because of the birthday thing was major, and it
Yeah.
was acknowledged on both ends, and then the thing with the registration on the truck and my nails. Like
Wow.
this was all like bam, bam, bam. And it was just so all in my face. I don't even know. It's like blatant, and it's got my head spinning, the whole thing. Like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
But I do think, and I'm serious about this. I'm so dead serious about this. I think we are all dead. I've been thinking my whole life. There's a point in my life where I really started to think that. And now it's. I know it's a great story line in literature. It's an arc and all this, and it's been a literary theme for a very long time. And it's in all my favorite books are actually entertain that idea. Many of my favorite films entertain that idea. And then, there are people like SMQ that came out and said we all died in 2012. I don't
Mhm.
care where it comes from. This is the cycle. And then the psychics besides myself, that I've been dealing with that talk about the ones on the other side, whatever that is, and however dimensions play out, call us the ghosts. We're the dead. And so
Oh.
if you want to start breaking this down, the idea of mycoplasma, that we're in rotting bodies, we have a decay cycle here. There's a lot of stuff that would point to this is technically the afterlife. Now, in the tomes and in the cuneiforms and all that, remember the afterlife is just as real as your eternal life. And
Right.
everything you can have that, and they call it the second death. You can have the second death here. And so I think that people want to get caught up in the idea of the physics of the physical realm, which we're in, which I
Mhm.
suggest is the land of the dead. Um, and that they get into the mind fuck of I bleed, I die, I can kill you, all this stuff. Well, of course, this is part
Mhm.
of the nature of this particular matrix grid sim of it. But here we do, in this, we all agree that we do die, right? We
Mhm.
agree that that happens.
Yeah. So then where do we go after we die? If
That's
we're
our
dead right now?
eternal life. That's where we
Oh.
actually don't die. That's where we have an
Oh,
immortal,
right. Oh, that
right?
makes sense.
And
Yeah.
it's in all the tomes. It's in all the religious stuff.
Yeah,
It's
it
it's
is.
out there. And so we've tricked
But you know what? It
ourselves.
actually makes sense.
Well, we tricked ourselves into thinking that this perdition, this limbo, this whatever it is, and we hold on to it, this material realm, and
Mhm.
realm is the word, is is life. And I mean, it's life because we're experiencing it, but it's not
Right.
immortal life. And that's where I think there's a lot of fuckery with atheism and other stuff. But to me, I think we're in the land of the dead. I really do. And that's why the more people that come to consciously realizing that that's what's going on, because I'm not the only one talking about this. Like I said, it's in literature, it's in
Right.
movies, it's in, people are talking about it, it's out there. The more that this comes into a conscious awareness, and this is what makes me think like the SMQ stuff, where something big happened and a lot of us died at the same
Mhm.
time, so we're having a collective event here that happened
Oh.
instead of a personal event, which is trickier. But a collective event, now we're trying to figure out like, oh, well, why is this all so weird? How can this be
Yeah.
happening? Because collectively we're all going, what's going on? And then it's falling apart from there, and there's no new narratives. And the stuff like CW, even though I heard he left the chat, but he's saying there's nothing new, and the 20-year loops, and there's like all this stuff, all these
Yeah.
breadcrumbs leading to this being something we should look at seriously.
Yeah. There's definitely a 20-year loop. I've seen that myself in a lot of the stuff that I've researched.
Do you remember when there used to be like a war every 20 years?
Yeah.
That whole cycle's been broken. Now it's just continual war.
Yeah, that's true.
He shot me down, bang, bang. Let's like cue up the song. Bang, bang.
I'd rather go for like
Shot me
Warren
down.
Zevon,
I love
Roll in the
Warren.
Headless Gunner.
Oh God, Warren's great. But this is something to actually really think about. I mean seriously, it
just makes me go back to Egypt and like the Book of the Dead and all the things they did to pass people off into the next realm.
Well, and look at the Chinese burn all the the effigies to their dead, and so that you have cash and clothing. And this is another thing that's really important with the idea of not being lost. And so this is where you can get into the ideas of a genealogy. And so where you get into the idea of roots,
Mm-hmm.
and not on a surface level, but that something roots, right? You have
Right.
something that's grounding you deeper. And so it's a process we complete. And that's the thing. It's just a process. But I don't know. It just is more and more a valid observation to me with how strange all this is.
Yeah, and to me, it seems like I used to poo-poo that, but what you just brought up has opened my eyes to where I could see that. It makes sense.
And it's not and so that also it validates part of the experiences we're having are real. I mean, there's a lot of fuckery around us that's not real, and clearly there's stuff being manipulated, but and so because those of us that are that have, I don't know, for just for the sake of continuity, are human, right? Where we have emotional context to things happening, to being manipulated in certain ways. You hit me, I'm gonna cry if it hurts, right? Or I won't cry in your face, but maybe I will turn around, girl, and have a tear. And but or I'll have emotional, when my Matilda passed, and it tore my world apart. And and stuff like that. Everything is as real as we make it.
Yes.
That includes our emotional context to the stimuli that's going on. And this is what's interesting about looking at how the functioning of something greater than us works. Like, I've been really looking at the stars that we see in the sky. The whole thing seems to me like a big brain now. Like, those are just do you see where I'm going, Suzanne? Those are synaptic responses. Yes, absolutely. And that's where it's starting to really look clear to me.
I could see the brain in so many things when I was doing all that research when I had the Morgellons. It was amazing. And look, the more you look into things, the more you see things, the more they see you.
Acknowledgement.
Right? And you can so I stopped looking at things when all that craziness happened. And because I was looking hard and I was threatening things and I was demanding and all these things I was doing. I wanted to know what was going on. I was insane about what was happening. And I wanted answers. And I was pissed. And sad to say, nobody gave me any answers. I had to look it all up myself. And no matter how many times I went out yelling at the skies, somebody give me some damn answers now. Come down here, and if you're real, come and show me. Yeah. Nope, nobody showed up.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't blame them.
I don't think there are any answers that can be had. Yeah, I mean, around you in your reality bubble, if you want to put it that way, you can get answers. But what's outside of that, it's all very fluid.
You're right.
It's like, don't get me started on Tartaria and mud floods. I mean, what the fuck? How about the World's Fairs? All that shit. I mean, it's just like, so.
I know.
Yeah, you can't find any answers on that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know.
This all makes my case. This kind of stuff all makes my case for what's going on in my theory.
I'm just supplementing your case.
Well,
you are. Yeah.
This is, and it's like, what do we do? Well, it's a process. I guess the most important thing we do is this, right? We get together and say, what in the hell?
Yes. What in the actual fuck?
I think that it's a sign that it's irrelevant.
Ooh, and that's a big one, and it's it's kind of a cold one, but I can pull right up to that.
Me too. Yep.
And because whether or not I know if the World's Fairs were legit or if Tartaria was there or not, doesn't affect my life in any way. Same thing with like flat Earth. If the Earth is flat or round or oblong or a toroid or whatever, it doesn't matter. I still have to go to work tomorrow.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, okay, so what matters about it, though, is
the lie.
Yes, thank you.
Lies, yes.
Yes, why? The lies.
Right. Why the indoctrination of narratives? And that's where we need to peel back and understand why first.
Well, my knee-jerk answer is control.
But why, Suzanne?
Well, if you think about what could happen with 7 billion or however many people are really on this place.
Allegedly.
Right? Like just running amok. I mean, there has to be order. So if you start thinking about it from the top view, I guess, is what, because I can see how people can get in a room and say, okay, what's the plan for this place? Shit's breaking down. Somebody's got to do something.
Oh, I don't
because
think
all these
it's
people
human.
are running around. You don't think it's human?
No, not at all.
And that's I'm with Jerry on that.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to try to get on the same page with human is as much as I don't actually feel human, we have to kind of get on that page of what we are as opposed to what that is.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that there aren't humans in charge. There are representatives of whatever the true controlling group is. And again, you might say it's spiritual or archons or ETs or whatever. I say it's energetic.
Mm-hmm.
There's a layer of energy that is driving certain individuals, puppets of this energy that, carry out a certain agenda. Now, however that works and manifests, I don't know. And again, I would argue it's irrelevant. Just I can see the larger pattern here that there's groupthink in this class of people. How's that? Yeah.
Right.
It's demons. Everything is demons.
The Watchers.
The Watchers, whatever. Yeah. I don't know what it is, and it's like I'll never know it.
Yeah,
we'll never figure it out because we can't. Like a fish, like a fish in a fish tank. You can't really see what's outside of the water.
That's true.
Right. The fish tank thing, which is an actual op, and that is,
The fishbowl.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
but still, it's that same idea, that the Antarctic stuff. And this does bring us into the idea of, Antarctica is kind of the center of everything. It's
Yes, it
technically the center.
is.
And I think until we somehow get to the center of all this, we're going to be constantly, well, what are we doing? We're swimming around the center. We don't know.
Right.
And the center is,
Wait, I thought it was the ice wall.
you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it, Mount Meru. There's still, I think some of the big answers are there. Is it
Yeah.
42? I don't know. Is it electrolytes? I don't know.
It's got what flat Earth craves.
I mean, but this is the thing, and it kind of ties in with the people with the two Earths and those people. It if you think about
Right.
the process of death and the process of birth, and how similar they are, but if we rise up out of, however we do, we rise up out of this state that we're in, that I think is an
Mhm.
afterlife of some sort, and we come into what the new earthers are calling the new earth. That's that same mythos. You're
Yeah, that's
rising up
true.
into the
Mhm.
real world, into your eternal self, into your right self, into your original form, and
Right.
this decay system, out of this construct, however you want to parse these words out. It's all the same mythos in a way.
Mhm. Yeah, I see that
Wow.
too. No, you always say, I mean, I always learn stuff every time you guys are on. So, uh no, I agree. I like what you're saying, and I agree.
And also with this idea too, I mean, this is the thing that is with a lot of other ideas, as I've played with. This one is one that is, it's like, you could actually call it systemic, because it's everywhere. And
Mhm.
but it addresses the idea that the people we love, our children, our parents, our best friends, and all that, it actually plays into that. So we have, these people are real in our lives, and whether or not we want to go down any kind of psychological road, that they're all just fragments of our psyche, doesn't matter. That's kind of like that's a side step, and it kind of derails the whole
Yeah, it
situation,
does.
because the relationships you have with these people, which may very well be your own self, are real and tangible, and significant. And
Mhm.
so, and on a psychological note, all you have to do is read Jung's love letters to his soul. I mean, these are the most beautiful love letters ever, and he's writing them to his soul. And
Hmm.
so uh it accounts for that, though. It accounts for these groups of people that I love. It accounts for the animals I love. It accounts for the things I enjoy that make this a reality for me. And
Right.
that whole thing, whatever makes it real for you.
Right.
Hmm.
I think what 2020 did, and the beginning of this year too, is that we all have different realities, and it's really made me see that, uh, just from this past year.
Right. Absolutely. It's, we cannot take away the experience of other people.
Right.
They're having their experience. And so that has to be factored in here. And I get the idea of NPCs, and I especially, or filler people, I especially
Mm-hmm.
get it when we look at all the tech we talked about earlier, where these
Right.
are not real at all. And then when we look at how this stuff is being thrown into what we consider the real world, and you actually have to touch something to see if it's a hologram or not. And now, with the state of robotics, you can touch it. You can get, you can touch it and it can be real and it can feel like it's got a heartbeat. And so where does this deception or the facsimiles, where do they end? And this, so we come back to that whole idea of the labyrinth, right? There's a
Yeah.
reason why there's a set of mythos that seems to stream across religious boundaries, across philosophical boundaries, that have maybe different languaging, but the thread, the core is all the same,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a process. They're all a process and are telling us these are the processes in which you go through.
Yeah, I see that. I never thought about it before, though, but you're right.
I mean, and so then look where we are. Where are we? We're being forced to consider, first of all, our own deaths. Because everything's death, death, death. A pandemic
Yes.
that doesn't, no pandemic. Come on. How did they ruin that word? And
I
so,
know.
come on, we would be seeing where are the bodies? That
Right?
Washington, the governor here, threw out an email today saying,
Yeah.
we, today we crossed the 5,000 COVID death mark. And I'm like, okay, a year, 5,000 people, pandemic.
I
And
know,
I
right?
mean, 5,000 people died probably masturbating and having a heart attack this year in Washington. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Seriously. And of
I
course,
know.
blue deaths are way down. 5,000 people died doing something stupid this year.
Yeah. Oh,
Something
yeah.
really stupid in this state. And so we've got to look at this. We're being confronted collectively with the idea, though,
I
of
know.
death.
Yeah. And for what reason? I mean,
And
it brings me back to that Madonna Super Bowl not song that she sang, that not everybody's we're going into the future and not everybody's coming with us. Remember that whole thing?
yes, well, that wasn't the Super Bowl. That was what was it? It's
That
that
was her
European
bathtub
thing.
song.
That
Wasn't it?
What?
was the
Didn't she do that in her bathtub and some
I thought that
roses?
was her Super Bowl
no,
routine.
Jerry's talking about an Instagram video. No, it was
Insta
not the
what?
in it was
Was
the
it an
Euro,
awards show?
yeah, Eurovision in Europe.
Oh, that's right.
And
Okay.
she pushed her way into that. And so yeah, right. That is, all this stuff's just there for us to see. And that's the thing that a lot of the truthers, point out. And it's true. Everything is here for us to see, including the act of a crazy old man that can't string together words, right?
Right.
The most popular president in American history, right? I mean, they told us that. They
Right.
told us
I
this.
know.
They have told us this. And stuff like this, who has to have all the stuff we talked about earlier. And we're all standing here going, And so, but that's right in
Yeah.
the face. So again, the emperor has no clothing. The
Yes.
curtain is drawn on the old man and Oz. And we are confronted with the idea of, how do we internally process this information, because we're going through a process,
Right.
and move through it. This is a riddle.
Yes. Oh, I like that. Yeah, and how are we supposed to process this? That's one thing that I keep running into, and I just shake my head all the time. I find I have no words. I can't believe the insanity.
Well, that's what it feels like. It does feel like the happy house, right?
It does. For sure.
It really
Look
does.
at all the downvotes on the fucking White House videos.
I know.
Are you kidding me? Like, are there only people that don't like Biden on YouTube?
Oh, girl, on I get Oregon's stuff and Washington's because I'm in the hinterlands, and
Yes.
all the stuff they post always has just like just very few likes because they're pro all this. They're pushing
Yeah.
it's Mockingbird, and so they're pushing it. And I'm I'm like, okay, clearly the people that subscribe to these are not buying it because there's way more. It's like I don't even know the percentage. It's always way more thumbs down.
Yes. Yeah. It's like
Oh.
12,000 thumbs down to 2.2 thousand thumbs up.
You know what else is like that?
What?
Every Star Wars episode video that comes out from Lucasfilm. People are so pissed about Gina Carano getting fired.
That one video and all the comments.
Yeah, they were all the same. It was hilarious.
Yes. You ruined Star Wars.
Well, she did.
That was crazy.
Now she's hiding. Sorry.
Who's hiding?
Kathleen Kennedy. Head of Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's at this point too where it seems like where people were starting to choose other forms of entertainment that were not from mills, right? Not from the establishment, not from propaganda mills. And this is the way it should be. That's actually a free market, right? And so YouTubers, they wanted to listen to Patreons, they want, different ways of actually supporting content they want to hear. And what's actually been under attack with this thing. They've shut down every avenue is having a very hard time. And it's so obvious that it's ridiculous. But again, and I constantly say that, but then I encounter people that don't see it. They don't see it. I encounter people that are completely, friends and family. I've had a lot of friends step away. They're just like, I can't. They're just like, I hear those comments and I can't even. I'm like, what? You can't look? Like, girl,
right?
you can't even what? Actually look at what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, come on, I thought you were once an intelligent person.
I know. My sister told me that they don't believe what I believe and they want the vaccine. And I'm like, it's not a fucking belief, dude. It's facts. You don't want to look at the facts? You want to take an experiment in your body that you have no idea what will happen in 2 years, 5 years, fucking 6 months. You have no idea. They don't even know. They'll fucking tell you they don't know. But you want everybody to take it. And it's just my belief.
That's the problem. So I don't care if you want it. This is how freedom should work, right? If you want that, you go get it, honey.
Go ahead.
That's right. But don't you dare force that shit on me.
Yep. But that's
where the problem is.
Right. And that's what's happening. And that's what I've been afraid of from the beginning.
Well, this comes down to everything, though, where you can't say this or you can't say that. You can't read this or you can't listen to that person. You can't. You know what drove me crazy recently is this. So there are amazing, absolutely amazing Black queens in history, in our historical context. Whatever the history is, there is an amazing cache of Black queens. And now they've got an amazing actress playing Anne Boleyn, and
I
they're
know, I saw
pushing
that.
this. It triggered me so hard.
Yeah,
It's like, no, wait, pump the fucking brake.
right,
This is ridiculous. This is English history. The This is a historical situation, and we should honor it as close to reality as possible, and not start scrubbing these lines more for the sake of fucking racism. It's not
right.
racism, it's racism to do what they're doing. And so, and then seeing all those things about people posting how frail whiteness is and all this. No, who wants to see, Renee Zellweger playing Nefertiti? Come
I
on.
know.
This is just it's so absurd
Yeah,
that to expect historical pieces to value the truth of historical
right.
narrative. It's not racist at all. This is where we're going to get in trouble. It's a problem. If we, like I said, let's celebrate amazing Black queens. If that's the thing, then let's get some amazing stories of the thousands.
I would love that.
Well, they're out there. The thing is, and the people making these movies and pieces can also choose to do that,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
so why do we have to blur these lines? It's like the Merlin stuff too. This is a British Isles mythology.
Hmm.
These were white people. Sorry, these were crackers.
Right.
Merlin was white. Morgana was white. I'm sorry to break that to everyone. It's not racist. And I watched it and I loved both those actors. I think they did an amazing job. Because I understand that those stories, I just allowed myself to get past it. But that is breaking the historical narrative of that mythos. And it's going to create more blur in so
That's the
everyone gets
point, though.
angry, Suzanne. Everyone gets angry with people who deny the Holocaust, right?
Right. Hmm.
How's that different than presenting all this other stuff that's denying historical narrative? Let's
Exactly.
let's just bring forth great Black stories and
I know.
great Black nobility and celebrate that. And why is it racist to even say any of this?
See, no words. I just can't even. I know, right? Why?
I'll say it
And
again.
it's,
It's Saul Alinsky.
yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's this
But
narrative they're
but then we
pushing.
go down the road and we have people growing up and that's their context to Queen Elizabeth's first mother, Anne Boleyn, who's a great story. That in
Hmm.
I mean, that's just a juicy story. Her last letter to Henry and all this is great. Thinking that she was Black, and she
Yeah.
wasn't. She was not Black.
Well, and
You know
so
what? The best part about this is that they can race swap, which is fine. I don't care if they race swap, but to make it historically inaccurate is weird, just for the sake of
yes,
quote unquote diversity. But if you do it in reverse, that's not
Right.
allowed. That's not
That's what I
allowed.
said with Renee
yes,
Zellweger playing Queen
right.
Nefertiti or Cleopatra.
This is what,
They did it with Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor played
Hmm.
Cleopatra, and we know that Cleopatra was not pale, milky skin. Liz Taylor is
she was
one of the
North
great beauty,
African.
right?
Yeah,
And so, they did it then, and that was and that's always about all those early Hollywood films where they made all those epic films of those kinds of biblical and historical stuff, and they were
right.
all
Like
white people.
Ben-Hur and
Yeah,
The
I
worst
always.
part about this of all of this is that even having this discussion would be considered racist by
right.
the mob.
Oh yeah, this gets us canceled.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Hollywood already made this mistake, and so it would be great if they went in and corrected it with making a real Cleopatra story, the proper one,
Yeah, no kidding.
where there's the actress that they're putting in as Anne Boleyn, they make her Cleopatra, right? And
Right.
we get some proper correction here, because when I was coming up and I saw that film of Cleo, when I saw Elizabeth Taylor, I thought Cleopatra was that, and it was fuckery when I
Hmm.
started to get into historical context, and I actually had to ask adults around me why. So that's not what Cleopatra, Cleopatra didn't have see-through skin,
Yeah,
like,
right.
okay, so what's going on here? What does that what do the people in that region look like? I remember it being mind-blowing because I grew up around all the white Jesus pictures.
Yeah.
And I remember being, and
Same
not
here.
in my, you'd see him around. There's just, everyone knows the white Jesus.
Hmm.
And, um, and when I first learned that white Jesus wasn't technically white, that
Yep.
and now they're saying, I guess they're, I can't remember all these biblical scholars I've been talking to. He's not technically a Jew either, but he's a person of color. Okay.
Hmm.
He's a person of color, and he wasn't blonde and all that. The white Jesus we know. And I
Right.
remember asking why that happened. Why did they do that? Why are they presenting him this way? So
And what did they tell you?
I don't remember the answers, but I think let's at least let's correct that stuff, and let's not
Yeah,
continue. Let's learn from that mistake, and let's not continue to make all this fuzzy.
I agree. But but that's what they want. They want it all to be fuzzy, so nobody has a base of, so there's no nationalities, there's no nationalists. You have nothing as a base. You're just out there, and you have to look to the government for everything, because you have no base in history. You don't know what history is, so you have nothing to hold on to. No pillar, no, what is the word I'm looking for? um it's like your ancestry. If you don't know where you came from, who are you going to look to listen to? It's the government. That's what they want, and that's my belief anyway.
Right. They want us to not have roots and to have
Right.
a sense of self.
Right.
And then everything's being weaponized and it's being flipped. And as far as I'm concerned, whether we're dead or not, this is stuff like, let's just correct. Let's do some erasing in a good way. Let's not destroy art, and let's not destroy architecture. And let's keep these examples so that we can see how this stuff came to be, how Jesus became white, right?
Right.
To turn white people into Christians and all
Right.
this. Let's look at this stuff and let's correct it moving forward, and let's not destroy everything that came before it to get us to the point where we are.
I know. It's so amazing how they do that, how they just go, like when ice blew up those things. And I know we've destroyed all kinds of stuff too, the United States, not me
Oh,
personally.
absolutely.
But it just makes me sick. Just the history and all that stuff just blown away. For what? What are they scared of?
That we might learn the truth of something, that we might actually learn we might see below the ground
Yeah.
here, that the fuckery is very deep,
Yeah.
and that we've been kept in a state of confusion for a very long time.
Yes. And it's getting worse.
Oh, it's becoming more confusing.
The news media, they'll put out, like I always say, well, back in the 80s, they put out these articles about hamburger will give you cancer. And then like 2 weeks later, oh, hamburger won't give you cancer. I mean,
Coffee's bad for you. No, coffee's good for you. You can find experts, quote unquote experts, and studies, quote unquote studies, that confirm your bias. for
Oh,
just
yeah.
about anything. Just look at like the mass debating. There's equal amount of studies saying they don't work, and there are that they do work. You know.
Yep.
But the ones that don't work,
So everybody's confused.
Yes, exactly, and that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say it's irrelevant.
Well,
You're right.
That's what in mass trauma, confusion is part of the name of the game.
Yes.
Where you get someone into a state of entropy, of inaction, of a complete shock, where they just say whatever. It's like torture therapy, where you just do it enough where they'll say anything you want them to say and sign on the dotted line.
Yes. Just to get out of there or whatever.
Yeah.
Is the time?
It's getting there.
Okay.
It's 2 hours.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
I know. Suzanne, I love you so much. I haven't had time to have girl powwow with you. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I say powwow?
I don't know. We might have to cancel you.
The politically correct term is chinwag.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
Right. Chinwag. Pussy wiggle.
Pussy wiggle.
That's my Tourette for the night.
I would love to see a pussy wiggle sometime. That would be cool.
Throw your voice, you know what I'm saying? It's ventriloquial. I bet there is an act like that out there somewhere. There's some talented
there is.
that can manipulate her labia and throw her voice and put on a hell of a show.
That would be one to see, that's for sure.
I'd pay. I'd pay to play, to see that.
That's right.
This has been, I love you, Suzanne, and we love you, and you are part of the show always, and you know this.
Yeah. Yep. Always here. I want to shout out to Amanda. I hope Lily is feeling much better. Her little kitty had surgery.
Oh no. We love her,
she's good.
So much.
Yes. Yeah, we do. The kitty made it.
Sister.
She's home. So she's doing
I'm glad
good.
to hear that. I'm glad your pussy's feeling better, Amanda.
We wish we could be there to comfort it.
Oh Lord. This is why I love having Suzanne on, because we can just get down.
Oh, I know.
This is
whatever.
Like,
yep.
I know. It's a get down. Well, it's kind of like we're the core, and it's like Cruising with Steak, but without all the other people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a melted down version.
It is. It would be kind of fun to do like an Obelisk with the core.
Oh,
Suzanne,
that would.
Right, Steve and James, and
can you believe how many years has it been? 7, 8? What are we going on? 8 now?
Oh,
8
Jerry?
what? 8 what?
8 years that we've known each other?
No.
Well, it's been 4 years of
6,
Knox Mente and Cruising with Steak. Yeah,
6 or 7.
Right. 7.
6 or 7. Okay.
Right.
7 sounds right.
I didn't start getting into YouTube until 2015, so 6 years ago.
Okay. That seems right.
I guess that was only 6 years ago.
we did start these shows. It seemed like, that's when time was different too. And those 2 years before we all started our shows, they actually felt like proper years.
They did. I know. You're right. I know. Like the last 6 months went by so fast. Could you even believe they went by? I know.
Suzanne, we're in March already in 2021.
I know.
What in the hell?
I don't know. We're jumping timelines, I guess.
I've got an Esther now. It's an immaculate Esther. I'm like, it's a gift of God. I didn't. Jesus done came in me, child. The spirit. I'm filled with the Spirit.
You said come.
Well, I have to look at my belly as magical, and that's what I choose to do.
There you go.
So anyway, I want to thank everyone for listening tonight. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Nish. And next week we have another Obelisk with an energy medicine and holistic thriving doctor, Allison J.K. That's her name.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to deep dive.
She's a master mind-body energy medicine practitioner, yoga and meditation teacher for more than 25 years, is the founder of the Vibrational Upgrade System.
Ooh, she sounds fabulous.
Ooh, yes.
That sounds like it's going to be a more serious show.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're in here playing around.
I'm pretty sure I have her booked. I haven't got a confirmation yet.
Maybe if she's listening to this, she might.
I doubt it.
She might be like, what in the actual hell?
And if it's not her, we're going to have Dan Lopez on because he got back to me.
No matter what, it'll be good.
We'll have a show.
Yeah, it'll be great. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Love you.
Thank you, everyone that is listening
thanks, everyone.
to our crazy show.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to not have like a non-structured show once in a while.
Yeah. Just get stuff out.
This is my favorite. This is like kind of like old school radio, if you ask me.
It's like therapy.
This was like back when you could have these kinds of shows too, remember?
Yeah.
Like we're reveling it tonight.
I know, right? Talked about all the stuff.
Free balling it.
Letting our titties out, Suzanne and I.
That's right.
And Esther's out too. All
right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.